Hey there, everybody, and welcome to our show. It's called Tournament Horse Racing. I'll be your host for tonight's event. My name is Rich Sharp. And what we've done is we've taken the horse racing calendar, we've broken it up into four separate horse racing tournaments throughout the entire year. And what we've done is each one of those horse racing tournaments consists of 10 individual racing days. Each of those racing days broken up into just four individual races. And that's what you're watching tonight is one of the racing days. Actually, it's the final racing day of the opening tournament of the year. It's called the Preps. And what we do is we measure how much money you win throughout those four races throughout the day. Whoever wins the most money wins that particular racing day. Whoever wins the most money throughout the 10 racing days of the individual tournament wins that tournament. We actually keep track all the way throughout the year. So we do have one year end champion as well. That's how the tournament works. Again, I'll be your host for tonight's event. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our racing analysts. They're also my close friends. We work together on a weekly basis to come up with this tournament. And I am actually going to start off in racing order as far as this tournament's concerned. Again, this is the final tournament or the final racing day of the opening preps racing tournament for tournament horse racing. Steve Newsom, sadly enough, you're in fourth place at this point in time. You're trailing by just about $60 or so and things like that. That's not out of the question to come up with the big one here at the in the final race. But what's your strategy? You got one racing day left here in the preps and things like that. Are you bombing away, or are
Well,
you saving?
I'm not. I bombed away last week, and I, yeah, did go so well. Um, I'm just gonna take what I think is the most likely horse that has a chance to win with the best odds.
Sounds like a pretty good strategy to me. All right, I'm going to move just a little bit to the south of me. He lives in Temecula, California, and if you haven't picked up, we're actually kind of going in our racing order tonight. Joe English, believe it or not, you're just about $1, one sawbuck off the lead here for the final racing tournament of the year. What's your strategy going in tonight?
I have basically three horses picked out in each race, and I'm going to make sure neither one of you guys can block me. That's my strategy.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Last but not least, I'll skip who's in second place here going into tonight's tournament, and I will go all the way across the country to Staten Island, New York. Another good friend of mine, a respected racing analyst as well, and Ray Torado. Without spilling the beans and stuff like that, there's a rumor going around that you're in first place going into this nice tournament of the year. What do you think, man? Just trying to block us all? Are you trying to spread out as hard as you can? Are you getting as big in the
Yeah,
screen as you possibly can?
I don't think anybody wants my horses.
Rich, Rich,
I hope
Ray's
not.
also about 5'2". He's not going to be able to block
Uh,
anybody out
Yeah,
for
yeah.
those rebounds. So.
I don't think nobody wants my horses. I hope not. Well, I didn't go chalk, so just stop taking shots here, like always. So.
All right. Well, that's the cast of characters here for tournament horse racing. Once again, for the final time, we'll try and bring this up. This is the final horse racing day of this opening preps. It has never been closer than this before. As we go into this final day, all four of us are still alive. Three of us are ready to duke it out as we go into tomorrow. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys. But before I share my screen, I do have a disclaimer for you, and I just want to remind everybody that Steve and Joe, Ray, and myself, we're all just horse players. We absolutely love the game of horse racing. We do this show on a weekly basis. This is the third year. This is year in and year out. We do this show on a Friday night. We do it because we love the sport of horse racing. We are not selling our picks. We are most likely not touting our picks here. We hope you all do your handicapping on your own. We do this just because we enjoy the sport of horse racing. We hope you all do too. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see what happened last week here on Tournament Horse Racing. And it wasn't our best effort. That's actually the racing form that we'll be covering tonight and things like that. But I will go ahead and show you. And this is the racing form that's going to go tonight. So we're going to start with Aqueduct, and then we'll do a couple of races down there in Kentucky at Keeneland Racing, and we will finish up at Santa Anita. But before we do that, we actually had a split track opportunity last week. We were doing Gulfstream Park and Oaklawn Park as we covered the Florida Derby and the Oaklawn Derby. the Arkansas Derby, excuse me. And as you can see there, yeah, we didn't put up our best work last week, guys. After a really good week the week before, Joe, you did manage to notch another victory, so you're going to get the victory total on the season. You put up $5.80. Congratulations! I might be able to buy you a beer with that tomorrow. And as you see, me and Steve and Ray, we were just trailing behind, and that sets us up for what looks like. I would sit there and say we've done this tournament now for 3 years consecutively. I would say roughly 45 racing days a year. We are somewhere near 100 racing days, and we have never seen anything that looks as close as that.
Wow.
So, once again, congratulations to Joe. He's going to take it with 5 racing wins. However, we only measure money. We're gamblers here, and handicapping is concerned. And whoever takes the highest ROI, well, after last week, Ray nudges in front of me by the amount of money that he's got in the ashtray of his damn car. I am leading
I'm
Joe.
playing for the tie. I got the most wins. Ties go to the runner with me.
There we go. Yeah, I am ahead of Joe, and me and Ray are ahead of Joe by. And as you see, Steve, certainly not out of it there as we go into this final race. We split it last week. We're going to split it one more time. We are going to do 3 races this week. We're not going to do the Carter Handicap. I actually substituted out, and we are doing the Shakertown Stakes down there in Keeneland instead to give us a little bit of flavor, a little bit of color, get us on the grass for this final one. And as you see there, if you are a follower of this show, you can hang around. There will be a second broadcast tonight. We will do our Pick Four War show. Will be coming up right after this, but we'll be doing the Wood Memorial, the Bluegrass Stakes, the Shakertown Stakes, and the Santa Anita Derby. Gentlemen, are you guys ready? Because again, there's a dollar separating us for the win here. Somebody's walking home with one of these tournament racing trophies for this first tournament of the year. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well.
Let's go.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
We're going to start off all the way over in Mr. Torado's neck of the woods. It was pointed out to me a little bit earlier. This might not be the time sequence that we'll be seeing these races in, but we're going to start off on the East Coast because we're out there by Ray. It is race number 11. They're going a mile and an eighth on the dirt track. It is the Wood Memorial Stakes presented by Resorts World Casino. It is a grade 2. Yuck. I don't know how that happened. Purse is $750,000. And your morning line favorite all the way outside there in post number 13, Hit Show, trained by Brad Cox, ridden by Manny Franco, as is our tradition on the final show of the year. He who is in first must go first. Mr. Torado, you will lead us off in all of the innings tonight on tonight's show. Who do you like in your home track, in your backyard? Tell me about the Wood Memorial.
Well, it's. I found this race to be kind of not too much in the graded stakes earnings that the horses have run. A lot of horses here qualify for 9 overs of one, with 9 overs of two, but it's a decent race, big field. No, that's big field. Somebody will get to the Derby in this race. Somebody will, and I'm hoping it's number 5, Slip Mahoney for Brad Cox. Um, he had a couple good races, maiden races. He won at Aqueduct. Last time they got them, had a bad trip. But why I picked him because as bad as he ran, he came up for second. You know, in the Gotham, he passed 10 horses, so he showed some life there. Although lengthwise he didn't gain because of Rocket Can. That horse, who was it? Race Kane was gone. Yeah, and the Race Kane, he was gone. But he's trying to mount an eighth, and I think being out of Arrogate and AP&D mare, he should have no problem with the distance. So I think the more distance, the probably better he'll get. He'll go back to Dylan Davis. So he rode him well a couple times. So I'll go with him. 6-1 is a good price for him. So I'll go with Slip Mahoney. Rich?
Boy, Ray has left a door open for me that's going to hurt me here to go away from this horse. There is a gun runner in this race who was, a mere $975,000 purchase. I'm going to have to go with the favorite. I'm going to go ahead and go with the hit show. I'm going with the other Brad Cox. So Brad Cox and Manny Franco. This is a terrible post position on Aqueduct, and I am aware of that. The horse has won 3 out of 4, and one at Keeneland, of all places, in a 10-horse field, was the favorite in that race. But as you can see, shipped him right up to Churchill Downs, an optional claimer for non-winners of 1 for a mere $100,000. The horse did not do so well, and yet, despite the fact that the horse did not win at the non-winners of 1 level, they went ahead and skipped up to the non-winners of 2 level, and sure enough, yeah, look at that, the horse won in a 7-horse field at Churchill Downs, and then came back and really kind of smashed the field there at the Withers at Aqueduct. So does have a win here at Aqueduct. Does have a win at this distance already. The horse is by Candy Ride. The mom is by Tappet. Gary and Mary West. This is all the connections are okay. The only thing that sucks, the only thing that kind of worries you about this particular horse is, of course, this really cruddy post position of 13 at Aqueduct. But I'm still going to go ahead and stick with it. 13 was my number when I was in basketball, so I'll go ahead and go with the 13. I am handing off to Mr. English.
Well, it's funny. Flip Mahoney was my second choice. Hit Show was my third choice. So thank you, guys. You actually left me with my first choice. I am going to take the 7, Arctic Arrogance. And Rich, you alluded to it, and Ray said as much. This guy's 6-1 in the morning line for a very good jockey trainer combination of Jose Lezcano and Lynn Rice, either hitting 29% on that form. But basically, this is a huge field, 13-horse field. I am not wanting to take any closer, anybody who's got to come from behind or weave through traffic in a 13. Give me the horse that's going to be on the lead and will not have any traffic issues. If this guy breaks, he's going to be in front. He was second at this distance, the Remsen, behind WNL, who obviously did not pan out as a 3-year-old. But between the speed angle, the odds being 6-1, the jockey trainer combination, I just think everything lines up for this guy too. And again, he may not win. He doesn't. In this case, finishing second, if the other 2 don't hit the board, it does me good enough. I'm only down by $1.40. But again, I'll take the guy who doesn't have to deal with traffic and who's never missed the exact distance. Give me the 7, Arctic Arrogant. Wood. Steve, bring us home.
So you guys have picked my 2, 3, and 4. But actually, I was going to go with Arctic Arrogance. I was hoping to go with Arctic Arrogance at 6-1. He's a little bit better odds than my top pick, which is the 1 Dreamlike, the Gunrunner horse that Rich didn't want to jump on. But I'll take Irad Ortiz and Todd Fletcher combination.
Really stretching out.
Jose Ortiz.
Want it.
That's Jose.
It's Jose Ortiz.
Oh, that's Jose Ortiz. Sorry. Jose Ortiz. Irad's on another horse. He's at a different track, I think, right? Anyway, sorry about that. Jose Ortiz. But they're winning at 20% as a jockey trainer combination. Horse has got 2 seconds. Likes to, yeah. But like you say, a gun runner horse is got a couple of nice workouts. But yeah, I'll go with Dreamlike and hopefully beat you guys at 7-2.
There we go. All right. Let me go ahead and pop these in for us. And we'll go ahead and keep score for tonight's event. And what we normally do is we just move on to the next, race at that track. Instead, we're going to move on to the next track and the next race. And this is going to be down in Lexington. We're in Kentucky now. This is Keeneland Racetrack. And this is going to start off with race number 8 for us. So remember, we build a 4-race sequence for this race day. And this particular 4-race sequence actually includes all three of the Kentucky Derby prep. So I forgot to mention it, but that Aqueduct Wood Memorial prep actually does include 100 points for the winner, 50 points for second place. I believe it's 20 for third, 10 for fourth, and 5 for fifth place. And that's the same that's coming up for a couple more of the races. This is the one race that is not a Kentucky Derby prep. I mentioned it as we were starting out. So let's go ahead and bring a little color into this. This is a turf race, race number 8 down at Keeneland, going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. It is the Shakertown Stakes. It is a grade 2, and the purse is $350,000. And your morning line favorite is in post number 8. It is Caravel, trained by Brad Cox and ridden by Tyler Gaffleone. 8-5 on the Keeneland morning line. And once again, Ray, you're going to lead off hit for us all night long. Who do you like in the Shakertown? This is what 20 cents got you.
I feel like Ricky Henderson here, leadoff master.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Um, Tough race. It's a, I mean, big field. Short sprint. I'm going with the number 3, Artemis City Limits. I want to be on the lead or IRAD, and this horse has a lot of speed, and hopefully the layoff will make him fresher. And he's running well. He raced in the Beers Cup. It's a sprint, faded a little bit, but after a long season, that happened. He had 10 races last year, so
Mhm.
he raced good during the summertime. Maybe the freshening he'll come back strong. I already put him up there, and as I would go 5-1, and let's try and wire this field here. At least be close. Pump the pace for a second, and get a trip. So Artemis, C Limits 3, Michael Maker, and that's how we're gonna start the Shakertown. Rich, I see damn there. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, that 20 cents is really gonna piss me off. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna cross out my second choice here. I do have a longer shot who I'm just not gonna believe in at this point in time, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and eat the chalk. Brad Cox and Tyler Gaffleon. So that makes two in a row for me. Yeah, no, I'm sad about that as well. I actually did like the horse that Ray has. And I'm still thinking about the fact that I could really just try and tie him at this point in time and hope that my pick in the wood
What's
is enough to nose ahead of him. But I will go ahead and um, I will tell you that I was looking at the 10 Oceanic, which is Edgar Morales, looking for a horse that was a little bit off of the pace in this particular race, where it looks like there could be some serious heat up here. But I'll go ahead and go with Caravel. He does not look quite as fast as the horse that Ray and I both liked initially. The horse did win there, you see, at Saratoga in the Smart Fancy back in August, and then went off the turf onto the synthetic there at Presque Isle Downs, and then comes back here at Keeneland and does pick up the second victory that the horse has here at Keeneland. And so there's a pair of them, and the final one there is, of course, the Breeders' Cup Sprint. That's the last time we saw the horse, so we haven't seen him for 5 months, which normally would be a key for me in a sprint race to go ahead and decide away from the horse. But this is Brad Cox. He's very good at that. As you see there, 24% with those horses that are away for more than 90 days. He's got Tyler Gaffleone aboard, although it doesn't show them as a combination there. That is actually a very solid combination. I'm assuming that the reason it's not showing on this board has something to do with the fact that they don't maybe connect a lot at Keeneland. But we do know that down at Gulfstream Park and at Fairgrounds, Tyler Gaffleone is one of Brad Cox's guys. So the horse has won 3 of its last 4. The only loss, as it turns out, was on the synthetic. So unfortunately, with Ray kind of siding with the horse that I liked, I am going to go ahead and punch in the 8 Caravel.
Rich, I'm gonna make a. Can we make a side wager that the prize for this round is a Brad Cox bobblehead?
I would love that. God, I've been looking. I've
Well, considering you've already taken 2 Brad Coxes and there's trouble, then there may be more to come.
no, no.
I'm guessing that
I'm
that would be
no,
an
no.
very
I'm
apropos prize.
no. I'm thinking, and I'm thinking behind here, a Godolphin banner would really look nice, somehow. But go ahead.
I guess you, well, if you,
That'll
good
that'll
luck
come.
getting that. They're
That's
too highbrow for us.
that'll complete the circuit.
That's not going to happen. Anyway, okay. I actually was also on the same horse as Ray, and eventually would have been Rich, but I'm not going to take Artemis City Limits. I'm going to go to the outside. I'm going to take the Wesley Ward comebacker, Arrest Me Red, who
Mhm.
was up close in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint last time we saw him, and he was running to submission by Caravel. But we know how well Wesley Ward does in turf sprints. We know how well he does at Keeneland, and the connection between Joel Rosario and Wesley Ward on my forum for the calendar year 22, for the whole calendar year of 2022, and through the start of 2023, the percentage is 37%. So I will go down this road. He does not necessarily need to be near the lead. He can be closer to the lead. I'm not sure what kind of trip he's going to work out from post 12. One thing I know is he'll be in the clear because I don't think anybody's going to be able to come across him. So I'll take like I said, Wesley Ward loves Keeneland, and he's good with turf horses, and it would not surprise me if this ran well to see him over at Ascot. He's done that before.
Yep.
So give me the 12 at 9-2. Arrest Me Red. Steve, what long
Yeah.
shot are you playing this time?
I'm going with the one that Rich had mentioned is my top choice in this race. The 10 Oceanic. I think Rich is saying for this horse to come off the pace a little bit, and maybe they go out a little too quick. Horse has won 1-1 at Keeneland in 4 races. Also has got 4 wins on the turf, 4 wins at the distance. But yeah, I'm going to go with Oceanic, 15-1.
Nice.
He also got the jockey on turf here at 12 races at 42%.
Nice. No,
So,
those were all. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I know what I saw. All right. Here we go. And these are your picks going into, again, what's going to be the final racing day of this particular tournament. And we're going to go ahead and let me go with the racing form correct. I got 3 different racing forms to pick from here tonight. And we're going to move into race number 9. And this is a Kentucky Derby prep race. So again, 100 points, Kentucky Derby points on the line for the winner. 50 gets second, 20 points for third, 10 points for fourth, and I believe it's 10 points or 5 points for fifth. And they are going 1 mile and an eighth on the dirt. This is the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. It is a grade 1. Purse is $1 million for 3-year-olds only, and your morning line favorite is in post number 1, and that is Tappet Trice, trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden by Luis Saez. 5-2 on the Keeneland morning line, and once again, back to you, Ray. What do you like in the Bluegrass?
You can move your mouse.
Okay, thank God.
I don't want that horse. There you go. Tough race. I mean, a lot of horses here that have been, battling and battling, and you know, I wound up going with number 7, Sun Thunder. It's 10-1. Um, I don't know. This horse, I mean, he's gonna probably come for the back a little bit. Maybe Flown Jewel could get him a little more closer. But he ran a couple of distance races at the fairgrounds, and he ran pretty well. I mean, the last time he had traffic, whatever, but he did. I picked him because, he finishes well. That 104 late pace last time, and second to that, um, the Risen Star, he actually had the lead, and just got beat by Age of Empire, who's one could be maybe the second choice in the Derby. So, no, he ran a good race, and he's been there, so maybe switching the tracks, switching jockeys. He's been working out well. I've always a lot of times these horses they just beat each other for week after week and race after race. So maybe it's his turn this time. He's been running well. I give him an excuse last time. They did pick up the piece a little bit last time, and King's Bond was not going to lose that race too. He's on the lead, and the track did favor a little speed, slow pace. So the fact that he passed some horses and he mile 2/16, so I'll go with Sun Thunder and hopefully to get a piece of the prize here. So I really wanted to pick the one, but I'm gonna do.
I'm
He already won, so.
yeah, I'm probably gonna get a chalk eating weasel T-shirt after this particular one. I would like to point out that I did not initially have. I did, in that first leg, I switched over and like that, but this would have been my strongest pick of the evening, and I guess I'm not going to go away from him. Me and Joe had a little bit of a text exchange on this horse. I did find his victory in the Tampa Bay Derby, even though it was not a very impressive field. I did find it an impressive victory, and depending on what we see tomorrow in the Bluegrass Stakes from this horse, well, this one quite possibly could end up becoming my Derby horse of 2023. I still haven't picked one. Normally, and Joe and Ray and Steve, you guys will back me up on this. I've normally got somebody that I'm cheering for by this point in time. But for the first year in a number of years, I'm finding myself a little bit balky at this point in time. Still going into the final prep races of the year. I still haven't really found that horse who I'm really, just all in on. I think it has a little bit to do with what's going on here in California. But nonetheless, I do like Tapit Thrice. I do like what I've seen from him. Todd Pletcher obviously knows what he's doing with a horse. Um, the optional claimer there at Gulfstream Park was really impressive, even though it was just a 6-horse field. And then what I saw at the Tampa Bay Derby, even though he was the chalk in that race at 50 cents on the dollar, he really was just coming off a maiden and an optional claimer for non-winners of one. I did see something that I liked in that particular race. This is his opportunity to go ahead and prove it. So hopefully I will have a Derby horse after the Bluegrass Stakes is concerned, for Joe and Ray, who I've been doing the show with a little bit longer than I have with Steve as well. And like that, you guys will vouch for me. I don't think there's ever been a horse that actually came out of the Bluegrass that was my pick, but that could be the case this year. So I went with Tapit Thrice, and I will go ahead and turn that over to you, Joe.
Well, you went with favorites again. At least you didn't pick my horse, and the horse I have on top is the Brad Coxon. I have Brad Coxon. I have the 3 verifying. He came out of a very good race allowance race where he beat Gun Pilot, who ended up, and 2 Eagles River, who ended up winning their next starts and ended up running. Both actually ran in Arkansas after that, but he did not. He had a tough trip. He got shut off a couple of different times in the Rebel Stakes back at Arkansas about 6 weeks ago. And I think he's going to have a much better trip. There does not appear to be a lot of speed in this race. And the one thing that does concern me about the possibility is that somebody could. I'm looking through my PPs to try and find the horse that I thought was going to be the horse on the lead. I guess it's the Dwayne Lucas runner, Major Blue, who really looks like the controlling speed. But I think that also is going to mean that Verifying is going to get the trip he wants. He'll let this horse, let Major Blue cross over and sit second. As you can see in the 2 races that he's won, he's been close to the lead, on the lead in his maiden race, and just off the lead in the allowance race. And again, like I said, he had a trouble trip in the mud, the Rebel, and I'm going to try and forgive that. I'm going to take 3-1 with the second choice. Tyler Gaffalione, Brad Cox. Give me Verifying in the Bluegrass tomorrow, going 9 for on the dirt. Steve.
Yeah. I liked Verifying in this race, but I'm going to have to go with a 15-1 shot. Let me go with the 5, Haste Strike.
Ooh.
Yeah. Coming off the pace. Yeah, a nice race, last race. Coming off the pace and winning. Horse moves up in class. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about the horse, I guess, but don't know a lot about it. But as competitive enough to speed figures, at least in the last race, that maybe you can continue the run. And I'll go with Hayes Strike at 15-1.
Let me tell you, Steve. Ken McPeak upset the Ashland today with a 20-1 shot.
Oh,
We
no.
actually saw on the show a few weeks back, Defining Purpose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you gotta be in it to win it.
Yeah.
Choice
Yeah.
horses, they have
Good
their
point. Yeah.
day and they win.
She
And
beat Julia Shining ran third. Punch Bowl for Brad Cox was second, 4-5. Wonder Wheel finished off the board. Defining Purpose was 20-1. King the $50,000 pick six.
Ooh, nice.
Sorry, over the month.
Nice. All right. Well, there's your picks there for the Bluegrass Stakes. We got the 3, 7, the 5, and the chalk. Sorry about that. And we're going to go ahead and we'll move along to the final leg of the final racing day of the first tournament horse racing tournament of the season. So we've had approximately 40 races so far. If I'm mistaken, I believe this is race number 40. And it's going to be race number 6 at Santa Anita Racetrack. It is the Run Happy Santa Anita Derby. It is a grade 1. The purse is $750,000 for 3-year-olds only. And your morning line favorite is in post number 5. That is Practical Move, and he is trained by Tim Yakteen and ridden by Ramon Vasquez. And I always like to notate this on this particular horse. And one of the breeders of this horse is Chad Brown. Anyway, 8-5 on the Santa Anita morning line. Ray Torado, one more time, off to our leader here. This could be it. This could be for the money, man. Who do you like in the Santa Anita Derby? Or for the trophy, I should say.
I had trouble in this race. I really did. There's a few horses I liked, but I guess I just have to pick one, right?
Yeah, that's
The
how it
idea,
works.
yes.
Yeah, that's how it works, man.
I gotta
That's,
pick
that's
one.
it. Yeah. You gotta pick
This
just
isn't
one.
the pick four show where you can
Easy.
pick 4 horses later.
Yeah.
That's coming up later.
Yeah.
You're probably right. All right, yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna go with number 7, Skinner. Finished third in Santa Felipe. Ran well. Broke his maiden. He came on pretty fast. I mean, he finished third. I mean, behind those Practical Moon, the other horse. And I think he's out of Curlin, John Sheriff's. The longer to go, the better it will be, hopefully. So I think, I picked them over. I like National Treasure also, but that layoff kind of bothered me since January. Has been since January, so he may be not 100% off the layoff. He's a speed horse, so I was a little worried about him getting a distance. But so I'll go Skinny because I'm a little more confident he might, close a little bit, get a good trip, and Big Dick Smoke's has been there in big races, so 4-1, he's formidable. I don't want to go to 2 favorites. They already won, so they won for the prep. So I don't know how much they're gonna give just to get out of out of the race safely. Go to the Derby because they probably have enough points anyway. So I'll go Skinner. He needs points anyway. So finished third in that grade 1 futurity too, and 7 furlong. So to Cave Rock. But like I said, it might be his turn tomorrow to win. He'd been showing flashes, so I'll go with him. Rich.
All right. Well, I'm going to finally stay away from the chalk, even though this might be the chalk that I like the most out of all of them. I mean, let's face it. Practical Move did not exactly have a clean trip that last time because of the fact that he hit the gate and he was throwing his head all around early in the race, and he still smoked him by 2.5 lengths. Um, He's, Practical Joke has been a really good sire, and obviously Into Mischief is his grandsire, as you see there. But I finally break my chalk run here. I'm not too far inside and not too far behind Practical Move. I decided to go with Go Rocket Ride. Richard Mandela and Flavian Pratt, and combining up here. Not a big sample size, but 2 out of 5. Connecting together as far as those two are concerned. The horse does finish second there in the San Felipe, 2.5 lengths behind Practical Move, with, as you note here, no trouble whatsoever, which really makes me skeptical as to whether or not he can catch up to Practical Move and put him away. But the horse is by Candy Ride on the top, and as you see there, the mom is by Uncle Mo there on the bottom. He did cost $350,000. Have no idea who Pin Oak Stud is, but Papa Mandela and Flavian Pratt, those connections are pretty darn solid. The horse did win at first asking. They stepped him right up to the San Felipe Stakes just to see if they can get him some Kentucky Derby points. This is that final chance. Even the second place could possibly get Go Rocket Ride into the Kentucky Derby. I need a first place to go ahead and win this darn tournament. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pick on the 3. Joe? Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Yeah, Rich took the horse I wanted most of all, but that's
Yep.
okay. I can rebound and go in another direction. I'll take the horse that Ray didn't want. Give me the 6. National Treasure for Tim Yakteen. If you watch the race in the Sham,
Bobby
he did have a
Yakteen.
little bit of have a little bit of trouble in that race. He has been off since, but if you look at the work tab, he's been working 6 furlongs. He's got 3 bullets in the holster. So I'm not concerned about him being good enough. I think, well, I guess there's a little bit of concern being that the other horses have had a lot more recent success just coming off the bench. But like Go Rocket Ride and just about everybody else in here, they need points to get into the Derby. And this guy did place in 2 Grade 1. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile behind Forte and the American Pharaoh behind, at the time, stablemate Cave Rock. So it's not as if he's short on quality. He'll be okay. He's fine. Johnny V decides to stick around in Southern California to ride for food. So give me the 6, National Treasure, in the Santa Anita Derby. Esteban.
All right, I'm going to go with the new one on the block here. I'm going to go with the 5, Left Hand Man. At 4-1. Won his debut race. A nice big figure. Huh?
Which horse are you talking about?
Am I on the right race?
I hear Left Hand Man. I'm searching.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I was like, no, I
Yeah.
don't. The 5 is Practical Move.
The 5 is the favorite, Practical Move. This is the Santa Anita Derby.
Shit, I'm what? All right.
It's the first time for everything.
All right, let me. Oh, you know what? I was looking at race 7. We're on race 6. Jesus.
Well, at least we know who he likes in race 7.
I did the wrong darn one. Hang on.
All right, good. I'm gonna play a double. 6 and
That's right.
7.
I got it over here. Hang on.
I got him. All right.
Kind of like Family Feud. You got like 30 seconds.
What's that?
It's kind of like Family Feud. You get 30 seconds, and then I'm going to put up a
right.
big
Yeah. Now.
in the middle of the screen.
Where's
So what did you
Barbie
get?
and the
You
buzzer?
guys took. Yeah. Now I'm all. Let's see. Wow, you guys took all the horses I was looking at for this one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the 6, National Treasure also. John Velasquez and Bob Tim Yakteen horse here.
You had it right the first time.
I know.
Well, listen, money is for the whole year, so that's
Yeah, exactly.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's especially when you're in that spot and look at that at the final tournament, and then you got to look up at that board and sit there and say, hey, do I want to Am I ready to die here in April, or am I going to fight again? All right, gentlemen. There you
It's a
go.
long season, but you can lose it in the
Yeah, you can. So here we go. This is what it looks like. That first race is the Wood Memorial. That second race there at Keeneland, that's the Shakertown Stakes. And then race number 9, which is Keeneland, is the Bluegrass Stakes. The finale there is Santa Anita. That's race 6. I am aware that is probably not the time order. It sounds like that maybe Aqueduct will be the final race in that sequence. But just make sure that I've got all your picks correct, and I will tally up the totals for us nonetheless. These results all get posted out on Twitter and on Facebook, and now I'm starting to show them on Instagram as well. So we'll go ahead and link for anybody who wants to watch that video or share this. That information will be available either later tonight or in the morning. Good, good, you guys.
Good luck, guys.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and come back, and we are gonna say good evening for the first leg of our show. Again, for anybody who enjoys this show, there will be a second one. We do not normally do this, but our final leg of this year is also going to be a show that's called Pick Four Wars. Kind of harkens back to the original Three Broke Guys handicapping show that we originally did. We'll each be submitting Pick Four tickets for each of the 3 tracks that you saw tonight. As you can imagine, Ray Torado covers Aqueduct Racing. Me and Steve will be going ahead and submitting our picks for Santa Anita, and Joe English covers Keeneland Racetrack for us. Any final thoughts on the final show, the final racing day of the opening tournament? Again, just about $1 separates the top 3 of us. Again, Steve, not out of it down there in 4th place. What do you guys got to say?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
It's always fun.
Ray said, good
May
luck.
your horse come in first or second.
Less than 30
Looking
days.
forward to tomorrow.
Less than 30 days until the Kentucky Oaks.
Yeah. Yeah. On a personal note, Steve, Joe, and myself are planning on being at Santa Anita Racetrack together tomorrow for the Santa Anita Derby. So, as all these results come in, you'll see me on my phone. I'll be trying to tabulate all this information for us. So. Without further ado, for Ray Torado and for Steve Newsom and Joe English, my name is Rich Sharp. Our show's called Tournament Horse Racing. Coming right back at you just in a few minutes here for Pick Four Wars. If not, we are coming back in a couple of weeks, and we will be right back on the trail. That the next tournament is actually called the Triple Crown. So for those of you who enjoyed our first tournament, the second tournament's called the Triple Crown, and we're back in a couple of weeks. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night.